Okay, so today we're going to start robot framework. So before going to discuss about robot frameworks, so let's recall automation testing. Okay, so if you remember in previous classes we had discussed about automation testing. So why we require automation testing and how it will be useful. Okay, so automation testing is nothing but the way how you do manual testing. So everything whatever you do manual will automate, like we'll write a script or we'll write some code. So in that code or in the script we'll specify the steps what you're doing manually. So that is what we'll call it as a automation testing. So what is the use of automation testing? So the main usage is, so let's say you are testing one functionality by manually. So for in a regression like next build or coming builds, if you want to test the same functionality again and again, so you may feel bored, so you may miss a few things to test. Okay, so instead of that, if you write a code, if you write a script, so you need to test again and again the same feature for regressing or for coming builds. So you can execute the script whenever you want particular builds, so that the script will execute all steps, so whatever you do manually. So that if you find any bugs with the script, or if you find any bugs with respect to product, so you can raise it. Okay, so that is how we'll use automation testing. Okay, so for that automation testing we have one framework, robot frameworks. So using this framework we can write our test cases and steps, scripts and everything. Okay, so mainly this robot framework is developed in Python. So whatever you want to write, any libraries or scripts you can write in Python, so we can integrate with the framework. Okay, so what is a framework and why we need framework in automation testing? Okay, so the framework is nothing but, so let's say we have one script, the script will execute on particular, sorry, the script will log into a particular machine, so it will execute some command and it will get some commands outputs. So for that we have written one script. So for the script, if you integrate with any framework, so framework what it will do, for the framework you can give the test data as an input. Even that framework has to generate logs, like output logs. So with that log you can see what is going on, so what you are doing inside the script. Okay, so these things and all we have to integrate with framework. So we have one framework, so this robot framework is open source, so which is licensed by Apache. So before going to that, robot framework is a generic test automation framework for acceptance testing and acceptance test driven development. Okay, so mainly the framework is used for acceptance testing or quality assurance testing, or so in testing we'll use robot framework. Okay, so the syntax why it is easy to use, because it will be having a tabular syntax and it's a keyword driven approach. So we can give the test cases as a English keyword, so it's like plain English. Okay, its testing capabilities can be extended by test libraries implemented by with Python or Java. So default it is all libraries developed in Python. Even it will support the Java also, Java.NET also it will support. So Java will use with Jython, so which is JVM supported. For .NET will install Iron Python. Okay, so these are like higher level. So if you want to use with Java you can use it, but right now we'll use with the Python. So it is already developed in Python, so directly we can use Python libraries. Okay, and robot framework is operating system and application independent. So like you can use in Linux and you can use in Windows, so wherever you want you can install robot framework and you can use it. Okay, and one more is the good thing is it's a open source, so you can download it, install it. It is a Apache license. Okay, so initially robot framework is developed by Nokia Networks, so later so Apache is leading that one now. Okay, so this is the main introduction about robot framework. So now we'll see the architecture of robot framework, so how it will be. So here we have an architecture. So this is the architecture of robot framework. So we have a test data and we have a test libraries. So test data is nothing but the inputs whatever you want to test. Okay, So like if you want to log in one system, so the system IP and system username password, and these are the test data. And if you have any log analysis, so that those logs and all test data. So it's a, you can say it's a configuration of test suits. Okay, that will define it, test data here. And we have a libraries. So libraries are nothing but so you can write Python libraries or Python script. So in that you can mention your test case steps, and so how it will integrate with your manual stuff. So whatever you do manual testing, so same thing you have to write in, I mean you have to automate it. Okay, for that we'll create libraries. So libraries are nothing but Python packages or Python scripts and all. Okay, so apart from that, if you need any other test tools, so you can use here. Okay, so this is the so at last, this test data and test libraries will integrate with the framework. Okay, so this is the main architecture of robot framework. So in this test libraries, we have some directory structure. So I'll tell you in next classes. Okay, so this is the architecture. Okay, so okay, so now we'll see how to install robot framework. Okay, so before installing robot framework, so it is having some preconditions. So what are those? First one is Python should be installed, because this robot framework is written in Python. So if you install Python, it will execute, or else it will fail some error, it will throw some error. Okay, so first Python should be installed, next pip should be installed. So why pip is required? So if you want to install any Python module, so you can install through pip. So we have to install pip. Even robot framework also we can install through pip. Okay, so these two things we have to make sure. So similarly, if you are using Java, so the Jython should be installed. Okay, so installing with pip. So if you want to install robot framework with pip, so there is a command. So like how we will install external modules, like pip install and Python space, that module name will specify, right? So similarly here you can specify pip install robot framework. So it will be like pip install robot framework. Okay, so if you enter, so this will install latest robot framework. See, requirement are already satisfied, because I already installed robot framework. So if you are trying a new mission, you can try like this: pip install robot framework. Okay, so this pip will contact with the PyP website, and it will download robot framework and it will install. So that is a one way. So next, so let's say you are not install pip, or you have some issue with pip, then we can install from source. So source is nothing but in this location robot framework the source code is there. So you can open this URL and you can download source code from here. So this will download one tar file. So you can extract the tar and you can change it to the directory, robot framework directory, and there you can see on setup.py file. Okay, so you can execute Python space that setup.py and you can give install. Okay, so this will install robot framework. So this is similar to, let's say if you have if you want to install any Python module, external module, so instead of pip you can use the same way. You can download that module tar file and you can extract it and change it to the directory location and you can run this. So there will be one setup.py file, so that we need to execute through install argument. Okay, so the final command will be Python space setup.py space install. So if you give this command, so this will install robot framework. Okay, there are two ways. Okay, so using these two you can install. So on the next side is we can verify the installation. So let's say for Python, how will we verify? So Python space um, Python space version. So similarly, robot framework also you have to verify after installation. So for that, robot is supporting with two commands. One is pybot and other one is robot. Okay, pybot or robot. So using these two, you can execute robot script. Even you can see the version. So pybot hyphen hyphen version. Okay, so if you see that it is giving the version robot framework 3.0.2 and Python 2.710 on Darwin. So if you remember in OS module we had discussed to see OS or sys module we discussed to see the operating system type. So since I'm using Mac, so it will show Darwin. If you are using Ubuntu, it will show some other thing. So if you're using Windows, it will show Win32 something. Okay. So this will tell the operating system type. So this is the Python version and this is the robot framework version. So 3.0 is the latest version. So if you install directly, so the if you install like pip install robot framework, that will download latest robot framework. Okay. So similarly, you can give with other command robot version. Okay, same thing. You can execute the robot script with these two options, pybot or robot. Okay. Um, So if you want to uninstall robot framework, you can give pip uninstall robot framework. Similarly, like Python module, if you want to remove any Python module, just pip uninstall Python module. The module name you can specify. So, so if you want to upgrade to any specific version, you can use pip install hyphen hyphen upgrade to robot framework. So this will upgrade to latest version. So if you are in lower version, if you want to upgrade to latest, you can give like this. Or else if you want to specifically install the specific version, you can give pip install robot framework equal to 2.9.2. So this will install the specific version. Okay. Similarly, if you want to upgrade the latest version, even if it be a preview release, so if it has some other release, then you can still upgrade to our latest version like pip install upgrade hyphen hyphen pre release robot framework. Okay. So using these three, you can upgrade robot framework to latest or specific version. So we have installed robot framework. Now we'll see so how to create a robot shoot and how to execute. Okay. So this robot shoot is nothing but robot script or um, robot program, whatever you can call. Okay. So that will called as a shoot. So basically, this robot framework will support three extensions. One is .robot and .txt and .html. So with these three formats or these three extensions, we can create a robot show. Okay. So .robot and .txt, these two are like text files. Okay, the extension will be a robot, but you can enter the data as a text. Even .txt is a plain text file. Okay, when you come to .html, you can create HTML format. Okay, so we have one IDE tool, so that I'll discuss in coming classes. So using that, you can create it robot shoot in HTML format. Even you can convert .txt to .html or .html to .txt. Okay, but basic robot script will support these three formats, so you can create in any format. Okay, so here we'll see one sample as robot shoot. So you can create shoot with dot robot. So let's say I'm giving sample dot robot. So the extension I gave robot. So here, so we have four sections in robot script. So for sample, I will discuss in only one section. So the test cases we can define in test cases. This is the syntax. So we'll discuss the syntax in detail in next slides. So here, so you have to specify like 3 stars space test cases space 3 stars, and you can define the test case name. I'm giving sample test. Okay. So here the test case name is nothing but so it's a like description of the test, so you can give any name. So whatever you're going to do in the particular test case, so you can like briefly or you can summarize the test case here. Okay. So here we're going to create one sample test. So that is the reason I gave one sample test. So it's like keyword driven approach, so you can give like English keywords. Okay. Sample is one keyword and test, and you can write in a plain English. Okay. So which can be easily understand to the user or any other one. Okay. So first we have to give the name, and after that same like Python we have to make an indentation. So here you should give 3 spaces or more spaces. Okay. 3 spaces I'm giving. So from here the steps it will start. Okay. So if you want to mention the steps like how you will do manual, so how you will verify the functionality of the product manually, so same things we have to do it. Okay. So first step is I'm just printing this is a sample test cases. So let's say, so in robot we have a keyword log. So like in Python, if you want to print something we'll use print. So similarly in robot framework, so we have to use log. So this log, what it will do, it will print the statement whatever you give here, it will print in log. Okay, like output files. So for that we'll use log commands, log. And again we have to give if you want to pass arguments to the keyword, so we have to give 3 spaces. Okay, 2 or more spaces. Okay, I'm giving 3 spaces. So arguments we have to specify. Something, see, I'm just giving log, and the argument is this is a sample test case. Okay. So log is what it will do, it will just print this particular message. Okay. Okay. So this is a whole message it will print. Okay. So this is a sample test case. So this is a, sorry, this is a sample robot test suite. So after this we have to save. Okay. So now we have created a robot suite. Say that. So this is the file. This is the plain text file. Okay. So next execution. So we can execute robot suite with uh, 2 commands. So one is pybot, another one is robot. Okay, both are same. Like pybot space, like Python space the script name. Similarly, pybot space the suite name. Suite name is sample.robot. Okay. So we entered and the output will be like this. Okay, you can see sample is the suite name. So suite name is nothing but the robot file name. Okay. Sample is the main suite name, and under that this is the test cases. Okay. So we have only one test case, then that will show here the test case and the result what it is, pass or fail. Okay, it will show in right side. So if it is a pass, it will show in a green color. If it is a fail, it will show in a red color, fail. Okay. So this is like test case wise. Okay. So here if you see, this is a overall. Okay, overall shoot how many, what is the status, pass or fail. So this is the report, so we'll discuss in detail in coming slides. So So here if you see, this will generate output logs. The output will be in three types. One is log.html and output.xml and report.html. So this log.html, this is a like HTML formatted HTML formatted log. So here we can see the output. So in the output, so here in test cases, what are the steps we mention? So which will show in detail. Okay, so that is easily understandable to the user, and so it will give a report. So report is like a high level output. Okay, so next output.xml. So output.xml is nothing but the output it will generate in XML. So if you want to see in XML, so you can open this. So with these three formats the outputs will generate. So it will be like this, you can see here. So once you execute that, once the execution is done, it will give three outputs. One is output.xml and log.html and report.html. Okay, you can see here log.html output and report. Okay, so we have executed and it generated output like this. Now if you want to know that what is printing and what is happening, and if you want to see the log in detail, then you can open this log.html, and you can open report.html and output.xml also. If you open output.xml, that will be in XML format. Okay, in XML format it will tell, so what is a robot suit name, and what is a test case name, and what are the statements we given, and so when it got executed and how much time it took and everything. But XML format, it is like difficult to understand, so we can open in HTML format. Okay, okay, so I'm opening log.html. So it's showing like this: sample test, the test suite name, and log statistics it will show. And so this you can ignore now. So here you can see test execution log. Okay, so the suite name is sample and full name and source. So where is that robot file? So here is the location of the file, and start and elapsed. So this is the start time. So you can see here 7 6 23 28 49, and this is milliseconds. At this time it started, and it started at 210 and 255 milliseconds. Okay, so it started here and it's ended at the same location, this particular time. And what is the time duration to execute this shoot? So it took 0.45 milliseconds. Okay, and what is the status? So one critical test, one passed. Okay, so this is like shoot level. So if you click here, this is the test cases, this is the shoot and the test cases. So what we created test case is, okay, so the test case name is sample test. Okay, so you can see here test case name is sample test. So again the same, full name is sample test. So why it is showing like this, sample test? If you see here, it is showing only sample, means test shoot name. So if you see here, it is showing full name sample test. So inside a sample shoot, so this is the test. So that is the reason it's showing sample test. Okay, this is the shoot name. Inside the shoot, sample test is the test case name. So again same, when this test case started, 252 it started and ended 254. So it took only 2 milliseconds. Okay, so in the test case you can see the step. What is the step? The step is keyword is log, and this is the argument. For this log, it is the argument. This is the sample test case. Okay, so we have given the print statement as like this same like start 253 it started, and ended with the same 253. So you can see the here. So here it got printed. Okay, so the log type is info. So this is a sample test case. So whatever we printed here, that will print here. Okay, like this we can print our log text into robot framework. Okay, so this is the one sample test case. So in next classes we can create one like we can create a robot suit. So there we'll do mm, we'll take one sample scenario and we can automate it. Okay, so we'll get more idea on that. Yeah, so that's how we can create a robot suit and we can execute it, so that the robot framework will generate three logs. See, this is one log, right? Similarly, you can see report report.html. So this is like high level report. Okay, so once your automation execution is done, you can see the reports. So like how many test cases passed, how many test cases failed, and what is the suit status, and uh, what is the automation status, and everything you can see here. Status, all tests passed, and start time, and time, elapsed time, and log file. So this will give in detail. So log.html will in detail. So here you can see high level. Okay, so that is the use of report.html. Okay, so by default all these three will generate in the same location. So wherever you run, same location it will run. Okay, so we are at this particular location, so even those logs also generate in this particular the same location. Okay, you can see the path here: output.html, robot log.html, and robot report.html. So even we can customize these paths. So where do you want to store output directories? I mean report files, log file, and this report file. Okay, so that we'll discuss later. Yeah, so this is the robot we can create and we can execute. Okay, are you clear till now? Okay, so next. Okay, so this is a sample. Next, robot suite will contain below blocks. So below blocks or below sections. So the robot script will have all these various sections. Okay, it will be like settings. So there will be one settings block and variables. So where you can define variables and keywords and test cases. Okay, so these settings and variables and keywords. So these three are like optional. Okay, there is not mandate. It's not mandatory to define all three. Sorry, these three sections in the robot suite. These three are optional. Either you can define or you cannot define. But test cases is a mandatory, because if you not create any test case in the particular shoot, so there is no point to execute the shoot. Okay, so we have to define at least one test case. So that is the reason if you see the sample test case, we didn't create keywords, settings, variables, and keywords. We created only test case. Okay, yeah. So now we'll see. VI robot. Okay, I'm just creating one robot shoot dot robot. This you can create in dot txt also, as I said. Okay, so the first one will be a setting. See, settings block. Okay, so what is the use of this block is the settings. In the settings section, settings block will import libraries. So like python, if you want to import any python library, so how you will do, import space the python library name. So python package or module name, python class name will give. Okay, similarly in robot frameworks, if you want to import any python library or any robot library, so we'll use like this library space. I mean space in the sense, two space or more spaces we have to give. So this is the keyword. So as I said earlier, it's a keyword driven approach. So you have to specify keyword and two spaces and again argument and two spaces and again argument, like that. Okay, so library is a keyword and two or more spaces we have to give, and the library name we have to specify. So this is the syntax. So this will define in settings tab, settings section. So it will be like the same, 3 stars space settings space 3 stars. Okay, so like this we can give. So to import a library, so if you want to import a python library or if you want to import any robot shoot, we can use like this so library and the library name. Okay, so similarly if you want to import a robot suit, so we can import robot suit in some other robot suit. Okay, if you want to import the same, we can use resource and robot suit name we have to specify. So this is the syntax. So here I gave some example, an example here, some settings and library and operating system and resources just dot robot. Okay, so library is here, operating system. Robot itself, robot framework itself, it is supporting few inbuilt libraries. Okay, those are already written in robot framework. So those things directly we can import it and we can use it. Okay, library, you can specify the library name. Okay, so for that, settings and space operating system. Okay, so I have one more. Okay, so like this you can define. Okay, so here if I want to import if I import library and I have a doubt that so where this operating system will be there, and how to know that which are things built in with the robot framework and which are external. Okay, so for that, so robot framework is having official website here. So this is the official website, robotframework.org. You can open robotframework.org. So here if we give, so this is the uh, main website, so which will have all information. Okay, so these have examples and tools and documentation and everything you can read out from here. So if you click libraries here, so this will give the standard libraries. Okay, standard libraries are nothing but inbuilt libraries with robot framework. These are built-in and collections, operating system and remote and screenshot, string, telnet, XML. So these are the things. Okay, so these things it will be already installed in robot framework. So once installed robot framework, so next these are like external. So like Android library, FTP, and HTTP. So there are a lot of things add and now. So these are like external libraries. So these we have to install and we can use it. Okay. So So here you can get all information. So coming back, so since it is like built-in, I mean standard, that means inbuilt library. So we are directly using operating system. So there is no space here. Okay, I just created, and I'm going to run pybot. Okay, see, file has no test case table. See, we did define any test case, so that is the reason it is throwing an error. Okay, so that we'll see in next. Okay, so that is the use of test settings. So in the settings we can import robot library or python library and a robot suite. Okay, we can import that. So next is variables. So in the variable section we can define variables. So what you're going to use in robot framework. So variables are an integral part of robot framework. So if you define any data as a variable, let's say if you want to define one string as a variable name, so that string can be changed in the suite. Okay, so like it can be reusable. So if you want, so it's the same name you're using in number of test cases. In more steps, if you want to use, so you can define the variable name in particular section. So that variable name you can use it. And one more, the name can change. Let's say for the um, so let's say we have one version here. So for first version, so it will be like 1.0.0. For next version it will be like 1.0.1. So coming version it will be like 1.0.2, 1.0.3, like that. Okay, if you want to use the same the version uh, in your test cases, so every time you want, instead of giving that the version name, you can create one variable name and you can define here, and you can use the variable name in the classes. Okay, so if you want to modify the version name, you can change in only one place, so it will be like reusability. Okay, so that is the reason we'll use variables. So so, so that is the use of variables. So you can define variables in robot framework like this. So similarly for settings, it will be like star star variables and triple star you can give. And here the syntax is dollar open brace, variable name you can give close brace, and again three spaces. Okay, so this is one keyword and three spaces, and you can give the value. So this is the syntax. Okay, so star star variables. Okay, so dollar of name, two or more spaces, python. Okay, so like this we can define a variables you can define like this. Okay, so defining variables, and so you define, and what is the use of this and how you will use the variable. Let's see. For test cases, we'll create a test case like this. Okay, test case one, and here the step is starting. So I'm just using log welcome to Python language. Okay, so as of now the name is Python, so I can give here. So it may change Java or some .NET and something like that. So if you feel like that, so we can reuse the variable name here. So if you want to change one place, you can change it. Okay, so instead of Python, so what I'm doing, I'm just giving the variable name. So you can use the variable name like this one. Okay, you can define dollar open brace and the variable name and close brace, and triple space or more spaces you can give value, and for while using also you can give the same dollar of open brace, the variable name and close brace. Okay, so here, so what we define Python, so Python will come here and sit here, so the result will be welcome to Python language. Okay, okay, we'll execute now. See, so it executed. Okay, but it is throwing one warning and one error. Okay, so what is warning is error in file robot shoot importing library with extra spaces in name like operating space is system, it is deprecated, remove space and use operating system instead. If you see here, the standard library is operating system. Okay, there is no space. If you give space, it will throw as an error like this, because we didn't find operating system, and it is showing like plain English. Okay, is deprecated, that means it's removed, and remove space and use operating system. So what we have to do, we have to remove space, I remove. Okay, so we cleared that warning. Next error is robotshoot.txt, which is not allowed. Okay, so I imported on robot shoot, so it contains one test. So what I imported here, so the resource I'm giving here. So as of now I will comment this. Okay, so for commenting in robot framework like Python, we can comment in hash. Okay, so if we give hash, so that will be commented. Okay, so to import and robot shoot in another robot shoot, so I'll tell you next. Okay, so there you will get a clear idea on this. Okay, so as of now I comment, so we fixed these two, so we'll execute now. Okay, so now we didn't get any error, and like this robot shoot, so robot shoot is shoot name, and test cases, there we define one test case name, and final statistics, one test case is passed and zero failed, and these are the output logs, so output.xml and log and report. Okay, so if you see here, so the name what we defined is small letters robot hyphen shoot dot txt, but if you see here, it will be like robot hyphen capital S. Okay, shoot, so R is capital and S is capital. Okay, so robot, what it will do is it will convert as a title case, so so the first letter will be a capital, and so rest will be the same, and after hyphen it will change like title base, it will convert. Okay, okay, now we'll see the output. So what do you give here, test case one, the log is welcome to, so name we gave Python, so it has to come Python language. Okay, see the log. Okay, same way we have to refresh. Sorry. Test case one robot shoot, test case one of welcome to dollar of name language, so welcome to Python language. Okay, so let's say instead of Python, I'm giving execute. You can see here, welcome to robot framework language. Okay, so like that you can use variables in test steps. Okay, so that is the use of variables. And next I will see in keywords. Okay, so in keyword section we can define keywords. So keywords are nothing but functions. Okay, functions in robot framework. So if you want to use or if you want to reuse the same steps, so then you can create those steps in a function or in a keyword, in a robot keyword. So that robot keyword you can use in like you can reuse it. Okay, so in the keywords there are two types. So one is a library keyword and other one is user keywords. So what are library keywords and what are user keywords? So library keywords are nothing but so those are so let's say if you are importing any library here in settings block. So in settings, I am just importing library operating system. Okay, so that means operating system dot py somewhere it will be like on Python module. Okay, so in that Python module, so it will be there will be some functions. So functions or some classes or some methods. Okay, so those things will call it as a um, library keywords. Okay, so keyword is nothing but one function. So what are the functions defined in library? So those will called as library keywords. Okay, so other one is user defined keywords. So next is user defined keywords. User keywords. So user defined keywords are nothing but the robot suite. If you feel that some particular piece of code, it can be reusable. Then you can create as a robot function. You can create a robot keyword. It's like user defined. So you can mention the steps there. Okay. So here we have some syntax. So for that, syntax is same like settings and variable, triple star and keywords and triple star. Okay, and keyword name, the name you can specify, and arguments. If you want to take any arguments for that keyword, you can give like this: square bracket space argument close square brackets, and again two space or more spaces. Arguments you can specify dollar of argument, dollar of argument. Okay, number of arguments you can specify. So between these two arguments we have to give two spaces or more spaces. Okay, if you not give space or if you give only single space, that will treat that the entire thing as a one argument. Okay, so here we can mention the steps. So if you want to return uh, if you want to return any value like in a function, in a definition, if you want to return any value, you can use like this: return space the return value. Okay, so this is the syntax. So this is the syntax. So example, keyword space okay, keyword name, keyword name print. So the keyword name you can define as a uh, like English words, English keywords. It can be like easily understandable to the user. So like if you so I'm just writing one keyword for uh, print a name. Okay, print name. Okay, like this, print name. So that will be like easily it can be easily understandable, right? So print name, that means you are printing some name. Okay, like that you can specify. And here, so my step is I want to print name. I want to print, so I'm taking one name, so I want to print that. Okay, so I want to print, so I'm taking one argument. So arguments are optional, either you can define or you cannot define. If you want to take as an argument, you can take it. Arguments I'm taking one name. Okay, so we need to pass name as argument to the print name, and that I'm going to print here name. Okay, if you want to return anything you can return, so that is return is optional. Return and arguments are optional, the statement only mandatory. Okay, statements you can mention. So if you want to mention multiple statements like this, log inside keyword. So here if you give only one space, it will treat the whole thing as a one arguments or one keyword. Okay, if you give two space or more spaces, then that will treat this inside is one argument and the keyword is one argument. Okay, so like that it will consider. So here we just created one keyword, so can define. So like this is nothing but we just define one function. Okay, but if you want to use it, if you want to execute that function, you can use in test cases or inside keywords also you can use. So in the test case now, so my intention is I want to print log. I can directly execute here log of that name. Okay, so these two statements, if I want to print, I have to give like this: log insert keyword and log dollar. So instead of that, I'm just putting those two steps in one keyword, and directly I'm using that keyword. So print name. Okay, this keyword I'm calling, and two spaces or more spaces we have to give, and I have to pass the argument. So argument is dollar of name. Okay, so now we'll execute. See it executed fine, and you can refresh the log page and test case one. You can see. So this is built-in log. So defaultly built-in is one library. So from the built-in log is a print. So discuss this in detail, and welcome to robot frame language, something whatever we can treatment here. So next keyword is print name. Okay, so this is user defined and this is um, library keyword. Okay, so this we define. So here see dollar of name we pass it, and inside this these two are again library keywords. Okay, so build log is a library keyword and inside keyword. So this is like one custom statement we gave inside keyword, and next log. Okay, log of name. So what do you pass name as a robot framework, so it is printing name. So we can customize this also. Okay, argument is robot framework. Okay, so this is one test case. So now I'm just going to create one more test case 2, and here instead of name I'm directly passing to Java. Okay, so I created two test cases. So if we refresh the log, so here you can see test case 1 and test case 2, and you can click and you can see the test case 1 steps. So what is this and what is this? Okay, So here test case 2, if we click, it will show. So inside test case 2 we define and print name. Okay, so these two we have created one custom keyword, so that keyword you can use whenever you want. Okay, you can use in 100 test cases or you can use in more test cases. Okay, so you can simplify the code. So if you observe here, one more thing is, so it will be like case insensitive. Okay, so robot framework, so let's say if we define, so robot keywords are case insensitive. You can define print name like this, small print name, and while using you can give capital print and name. Okay, still it will call this one. Okay, see, print name of dollar name, but here what is specified is specified as a capital print name, but still it is taking this one. Okay, it's not throwing error because we didn't define capital P. Okay, and one more is while defining keywords you can define like this also. In robot framework, underscores will replace with the space. Okay, so like it won't replace, like underscore is nothing but one space. So we define keyword like print underscore name. So while calling you can call like this, print space name. Okay, so both will be a same. Okay, so here underscore will replace with the space. So this is the, so this is like you can use. So like while defining you can define print underscore name or something, you can underscores you can define. So while calling it will be like it should be easy to understand to the user, right? So you can like print space name. So like in English how you will write word spaces, right? So you can call like this, print space name. Okay, so it works. You can see, but we called as a print space name, but still it is taking print underscore name dot name Java. Okay, so like this we can like this we can use keywords. So we discuss keywords, settings, variables, keywords, done. Next, test cases. Okay, so in this section we'll define a real test cases. So already we have defined some test cases. Okay, so these test cases are in a tabular format or a keyword driven approach. So notice that these tests read like manual tests written in English rather than automated test cases. Okay, so it will be like you can write in English, so it will be easily understand to the user. Okay, it is like keyword driven approach. You can write in natural English language. Okay, the syntax is like this. So you can define a test cases like triple star test cases, triple star, and this will be like a case instance. You can define a small test, capital cases, and it should work, and the test case name, and you can give the steps. Okay, so this is the syntax. Okay, so this is the syntax, and here are the an example. So test cases and sample test one log. So we can take same example. So here you can define a test cases like this, test case name and statement. So here log, this is a one statement, log welcome to, this is a one statement, and print name and the name, and this is a one statement. So here if you see, we have two test cases. One is test cases 1, test case 1, and test case 2. Okay, similarly you can define number of test cases. Come here, so I'm just giving t. Okay, so still it works. Okay, you can you can give in anywhere like this, small here, capital C here. So it will be like case insensitive, so it will read test cases, but the syntax will be like this: triple star space test cases space triple star. So finally this is the one final robot suite. So this is having all sections like settings and variables and keywords and test cases. Okay, and one more is here, the order, so like settings will be the top and variables will be second and keywords will be second, third, and test cases will be last. So there is no specific order, so you can define wherever you want. Okay, you can define keyword section here. Okay, so like, okay, see the keywords I defined at last. Okay, but still we can access this. Okay, still we are able to access. Okay, so you can define starting at ending, so wherever you want you can change. So there is no mandatory that you should follow the same. So we should specify some top to bottom, so we should specify the same order. Okay, there is no rule, so we can give wherever you want, but the good thing is we have to follow like this: settings and variables, so keywords, if you have any keywords you can define keywords, and test cases. So that is like, so proper, but that's not a mandatory, you can define however you want. Okay, so uh, so these are the various sections will define test cases. Okay, so, so I think we are done for today. So do you have any doubts?